Hello, let's play another game. That's a 1700. Let's see what we can do. Go for the Caro-Kann. Let's try and go for a Tartar cover. Kinda like this variation. Is he gonna play the main stuff? Queen there. He's not, okay. Maybe he still wants to later. Let's bring my rook here. And this is usually a move, but I like just playing it safe. H5 is main line. I kind of like these lines. Knight is making that journey. Shouldn't go here actually, because after this, I am losing a pawn. Although this is very weak. I think I should just go here. And this is still a weakening move. Tries to trade bishops. Don't think I want to. So let's drop it back. My king is actually pretty safe here. And my knight usually wants to go there, so that's something I need to deal with. Maybe this is an idea. Let's go for that. This looks ugly if he trades, but that's actually quite a good bishop. His pawns are on dark squares, so if he trades his light squared bishop, his his light squares are pretty weak. And my pawns are weak also here, so I definitely shouldn't be going for the endgame there. And he's probably contemplating this. Decides not to go for it. Yes, so now this. Knight is defended. This would attack his bishop. Maybe he can go for this. Doesn't really drop his pawn because then my knight would be hanging. So that would have been an option for him. Okay, and this, does it threaten anything? Really think so. Is he gonna go there? Don't think that's scary. So let's just take his bishop. And then maybe even this. Looks weakening, but I think I can get away with it in this case. My bishop is defending the pawn here. Although it's attacked twice, so maybe I should have watched out. Yeah, if he takes, goes here. So his knight is attacked now, so he should deal with that. I think this is actually alright for me. Just attack the pawn. Rook is defended by the rook now. Bishop is still quite nicely defending my king. So it's never really in danger. Also there's 3 pawns still here. Okay, do I want to make use of the dark squares now? Yeah, let's just do that. See what he wants to do. He probably wants to double up rooks. Might have a good square for my knight. Okay, so he trades. Giving me the file, but maybe he just wants to trade both rooks. Else I don't really get this trade. And a knight here will be annoying for him. Okay. And let's go for this. And this trade is alright. He doesn't have the bishop pair anymore there. So maybe this. Trade everything down. Yeah, why would I go to an endgame like this? So let's unpin my pawn first. If he wants to trade on his terms, that's fine. So he does. And he wants to save his bishop. Taking this pawn. With this, I feel like I always have this. Do we have this now? This would no longer be defended. So let's actually go here. Trying to set up this. Maybe he can just push. That would be a passed pawn for him. Maybe this. Because this is not what he wants. Let's go for that. Would be left with an isolated pawn. Maybe you can just take there. But I feel like this, well, that's, I don't know. It's annoying, but at the same time, you can probably get away with it. So he goes for that first. Yeah, probably for that reason. So I don't know, let's at least make things complicated. I shouldn't be trying to keep all my pawns now. I'm just down 2 pawns and should try to attack to see if I can get something. Like maybe something like this is annoying for him. Doesn't really threatening anything like this check. He just moves. And I never want to go for the queen trade here. Yeah, he's thinking, so that's good. Okay, that's interesting. Just go for this. If he moves his king, then yeah, that would have been bad. And here I might actually have a draw, maybe. No, probably not. So let's see, if I go for a check and he takes my bishop, check, mate. Think I can get away with this. That's checkmate. Wow, he missed that. Yeah, okay. Nice game, I guess. No, it wasn't a nice game at all, but I did win in the end. So let's go to the game review. Wow. So that's what I said. Just try to make things complicated and you might end up winning. 89 accuracy, actually not that bad. Actually, throughout the whole game, I wasn't really losing by that much. So let's see what the engine has to say. So at this point, I knew theory. I'm not really used to this move, but apparently I still play the book move after. So here, yeah, everything is about the same. And here, oh, you can even play g6. Yeah, that's nice to remember. This is still fine. It's equal here. And let's see if he takes here. Yeah, that's actually just one of the best moves. But it's still equal, so that's alright. And here I'm slightly better. This just hangs a pawn. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. At least I had some counterplay. What did I miss here? Yeah, I saw this and then I thought, okay, not really threatening anything. Maybe this does become annoying at some point. Onion says this is best, and then yeah, knight here, and he has to take, and I guess my play is very active. So that would have been nice. I thought my knight here would be annoying for him, but at the same time doesn't threaten anything, so he just called my bluff, and rightfully so. Yeah, and here maybe could have gone for this, but I feel like you can even just take. I feel like maybe there would have been something here. Oh yeah, but now I lose my knight. So yeah, this is just bad. That is a missed win. Apparently this is best. Well, engines. Oh, okay, so I'm actually better here. Queen e3 was the only move to have an advantage for black. That's interesting. Because I thought if he just takes here, what am I doing? It's actually made in 3. Bishop to g3. Yeah, I saw this and I was like, oh, he's defending this, but not this. So that's actually annoying for him, yeah? And then after this, yeah, I think he should just take the draw here. Best for me was this, apparently. Yeah, I just saw a forced draw here, I thought. And then after this I was like, oh, is this even a draw? Here again, beat xc is best. And I'm winning apparently. Yeah, I was just down pawns and my pawn structure was bad, so I would have been happy with the draw. And then here I saw that I could actually go for this. And then if he takes, it's mate. And now that I think of it, he doesn't really have a choice, because if he blocks with the queen, which is his other move, it's made like that, and he loses a queen as well if it wasn't made. So yeah, this is just checkmate. I'm gonna play another game. It's 3+2 this time, so a little bit quicker. Let's see if I like this format. Gonna play the Chihuahua London. Opponent is thinking on move 2. That's a good sign. Especially on this quick on time control if he's taken so much time. Quite odd as well. Maybe there's something else going on. Okay. This is just way too odd. It's not like this is winning or anything. It's just move 2. Why is he thinking so long? Connection seems to be fine. But don't know what's happening. Okay, this would be a really weird game if it ends like this. But I'm gonna play another one if it does. And I'm not gonna analyze this game if it ends like this. Because it would just be 3 book moves. And if he decides to start playing now, that's a pretty big advantage for me. Which I can definitely still mess up, but... Okay. Auto resignation coming. And there it is. I don't know what happened. Our game abandoned even, because it was just move 2. Let's just go for another game. Oh. Quickly found an opponent. Playing the Caro-Kann. Exchange variation. And let's see how did this line go. This is not how the line goes, by the way, but I think this is alright. And after the game I should see what I should have done. Now there's 2 ways to play this, 3 ways I guess. Just gonna take with the bishop. I believe all the moves are fine there. And I can argue this knight is a bit misplaced. I don't mind losing that bishop there. Maybe this is a move to consider now. What do I take here, by the way? Is that just a free pawn? I think it is. Does he have any bishop move? Don't think so. Can always just take the queen if he moves his bishop. Just this. So this pawn is not pinned. In case he wants to do something like that or something. And maybe he's just given up his pawn for activity. Yeah, I have a lot of central control as well, so I don't think that activity is really gonna pay off for him. Does this make any sense? Don't think so. Let's just play it safe. So this might be an idea at some point. Maybe right now just to trade, saying, okay, I'm still up a pawn. Yeah, why not? I'm up a pawn, so trading should be fine. Try and go into the endgame. I'm giving up my bishop for his, and mine is probably better. So the engine is probably not gonna like this. But to convert, this is probably easier. And I think I'm just gonna castle here. I don't see any danger with the knight. These things just don't work. this now maybe. Yeah, let's go for that. He's not in time with this. Can at very least take there. And his plan was maybe to take back with the knight, but still, it's just straight and I'm up a pawn, so I have 2 pawns in the center. Yeah, so he takes with the rook, attacking this. Should I just defend? His knight incoming there. That's not a problem, I think. Could also consider this. He doesn't have this because the rook would be pinned, so I would just be able to move my knight. I'm going here. And I probably just want to kick the knight out. Does weaken my dark squares a little bit, but he doesn't have a dark squared bishop, so I think it's alright. And then he needs to move his knight to an awkward square. I think that's what I want to do. He goes there, it's fine, I think. Could also consider this now. Maybe aim for that square. Could also consider this. If he takes and I move, I'm on this. I think this is just safest. Let's just go for that. I should play quicker. Not used to this time control. So this is still an idea. Okay, let's go for that. That's actually quite a nice attack now. Maybe he can save everything with this. But I don't think he can. I think I'm winning now. Because I'm attacking this. I'm attacking his rook. And if his rook moves away from the file, I could take his knight. Yeah, and here I can do this. Maybe goes for another check. But then here. And I think he has to give up his rook. I'll try to go for this. I just win his knight. I think this is winning. Yeah, and if this, he doesn't just give up a rook, because after he takes back, I'm taking his knight. So he might have to go here. Yeah, that's the thing. But I can just take his knight, right? Don't see why not, so let's go for that. My king is a bit weak, so I should watch out. But I'm still attacking his rook. And that's the only square for the rook. So that's really passive. Could bring my rook to the file, also helps defend the king a bit, because I'm on the g file. So let's go for that. I'm not scared of him bringing in the queen. First of all, that's still an issue for him. Should I just double up here? I think I should. Maybe even like this. Yeah, why not? Should watch out for my time though. Yeah, I am up on time, so that's good. It's probably gonna go for this. Yep. Is this a move now? Maybe let's just bring my king here first. Maybe start attacking there or something. And he's thinking a lot now. Maybe this. Not afraid of this. does go for that. That forces a queen trade. And that should be winning for me. Yeah, and I won on time, but yeah, it's completely winning. Let's go to the game review. Quite a nice game, I think. 87.4 accuracy. So this is all theory. And I knew this was the best move, but I didn't really know how to follow up. And that was definitely not the idea. Apparently this is fine. I was thinking about this, but I wasn't sure. E6 is actually the second move, so it's not too bad. And here it's actually already better for black. Yeah, this just hangs a pawn. Like I said, engine is not gonna like this, but the evaluation goes from minus 1.5 to minus 1.2, so it's still okay. And just trading is always in my benefit, so he doesn't trade, which I like for him. Because if you're down a pawn, you usually don't want to trade. This is all fine. This is best. Yeah, then here, this is just completely winning. Even here already. This. King h8 even. Yeah, because then I'm also attacking the knight and the rook. Because the pawn is no longer pinned. Because the idea here was that the pawn is pinned, so he might want to go for a perpetual if I go back to g8. But I went up, which looks a little bit scary here. But I can just take the knight and he doesn't have anything. He needs to save the rook, but that's just very passive. In this position I wouldn't even have saved the rook. Try to go for counterplay, take back with the queen maybe. Yeah, he saved his rook. I just started double up here. All the best moves. It's not best, but still alright. This is good. He gave up his rook here. And this is just forcing a queen trade, and without a queen and his only piece is a rook, and it needs to play a lot of moves to get back in the game. It's completely over. And this queen trade is forced because it's pinned. So either he's gonna take and I'm gonna take back. But either the pawn or the queen doesn't really matter, I think. Pawn is a little bit better. He could have considered this, but I'm just gonna take the queen and he can take back, but still, this is completely winning. Can even take here now, something like this, and yeah, I'm just up a full rook. And let's see, he could have gone back, but that's still just a queen trade. And I could have just taken here or something. But yeah, I'm just up a full rook and completely winning. So yeah, let's play another instructional game against a 300. Okay, don't know how instructional this is gonna be, but let's see. I'm gonna play the Caro-Kann. Now you never know, people might be underrated. This just looks bad, don't even know this. Hangs a pawn first of all. Let's just take it. If you don't see a threat by our opponent, and there is a free pawn, just take it. And here I can defend and attack. Usually it's not best to bring your queen out early, but in this case, because he played this way, I feel like we can get away with it. And his knight might even be trapped. So he might have moves like this. We can en passant, and that's probably what he needs to do. Let's see if he finds that. Because this, I guess he can go here. Yeah, that just hangs the knight. Okay, so this really is a 300, I think. Yeah, let's just show you how you can deal with 300s, I guess. Don't know how instructional this is gonna be, but let's see. So yeah, there's a weakness there. I immediately see it, so I can develop with tempo. It's not really with tempo because two pieces are defending right now, but it's a good square for the bishop anyway. So let's go for that. Also taking the center would be nice, but in this case, my king and his queen are aligned. So it could become dangerous. He might have moves like this. Yeah, when you're a piece up, just go for easy development. No need to win any more material quickly. If you can, obviously, you can go for it, but you don't need to try and force it. Just develop and will be easy from there. Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly develop and try to castle queenside. And also after castling queenside, I'm on the spawn. Now if I castle right now, this pawn would be hanging. But I don't think I really mind. But I could consider this. Just trading another piece is always nice. So let's just do this. Keep things easy. And I'm gonna take with my knight so that I can still castle. Although taking with the king would be perfectly fine here as well. But it would be a little bit difficult to get this rook out. I need to go for a rook lift. Yeah, I'm a piece up, so everything's fine, but still. Okay, so he goes for an intermediate move. He hangs his bishop, but that would hang my queen, so I can't play that. Let's see. Don't really have many options here, I guess. Could go for this. Force the queen trade. Don't know if that's what I want to do. Yeah, let's keep queens on the board. I could go into an endgame, which would be winning for me with a lot of pieces. But since this king is pretty weak, I'm gonna keep queens on the board. Which is usually a nice thing to do. And if he really wants, he might be able to force queen trades, but still. Yeah, so I might have some discoveries with his knight. But I have a lot of squares for my queen. So I'm just gonna go for this. His knight can't capture anything or create another threat. He could go there attacking this as well, but yeah, I can just drop back. I'm defending with my queen. And by the way, if he goes there, I'm also attacking his bishop. And I can really put pressure on this pawn now. Let's do this. Now 4 pieces are on this pawn. So there's no real way for him to defend it. And I can take it with check, force the king here. And even win his rook. Or bishop. And this can actually be instructional. Yeah, he can also give up his queen if he wants, but yeah, that's not the best. So I can take the rook for a knight. But a full bishop is worth more points, so that's actually better. I'm just checking if there is any quick checkmate. Probably there is. But I think this is just best. And it's kind of a windmill as well, so I can just come back and win the rook as well. I just want to see if there's something here that just doesn't work. And there might be something, but if you can win a lot of material, that's usually just best, so. And he gives up his queen. Now important to take with the queen, because if it, with the bishop, because if I take with my queen, he gets at least a queen back, and that's not best. In this case, it would also be fine. But yeah, here we are up a lot of material. 13 points of material to be exact. He can't even castle. He's moved his king a lot of times, by the way. Yeah, and this is just checkmate. So let's go for that. Now this is a 300. But it goes to show, yeah, how you can deal with that. I'm not gonna go into the game review because this was just really easy. But let's play another game. Let's hope we can make this instructional. It's against the 1700. I'm gonna play the Caro-Kann. The main idea is to grab the full center. And this is the exchange variation. And the main idea is to, yeah, just develop your pieces. This is not really an interesting line in my opinion. But we can get off the bishop before we close the pawn chain. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, and here the bishop trade is actually good, even though my pawns are on light squares. It just liquidates the play for my opponent. And in this pawn structure, at some point we will go for the minority attack to crash open these 4 pawns. Depending on what happens in the game, obviously. And if he takes my bishop, I'm just gonna take back. That's pretty obvious. And if he ever attacks, there's a decision to make. But in this case, I would just drop my bishop back. In some positions, it's even good to take the knight. And go from there. Now, it's definitely not good to take the knight because you can recapture with a knight. And bishops usually are a little bit better than knights. So that's what you need to remember. And yeah, I want to complete development before I start my minority attack. So just bring my knight out, castle. Yeah, so like I said, drop my bishop back. This is very weakening for him, so we should never play that. And I could, at all cases, go for this. I don't mind ruining my pawn structure there. But in this case, that's not necessary. So yeah, let's just bring my rook here and start going for the minority attack. Yeah, so here, probably it's best to go here. That would just be really solid. But also consider this, threatening things like this. And maybe it's actually fine here because he isn't really threatening this because my knight is defending. So I think I can go here first. And this is an annoying threat for him. Yeah, so he goes there. This doesn't work because he has knight takes. I could consider just now going for the minority attack. Let's do that. Because after this takes, I can still bring my knight there. Now this pawn would be hanging as well. Something to watch out for. My rook is defending here. And this will be annoying for him. And if he doesn't take, I'm gonna take there, and that's annoying for him as well. Yeah, that stops my plan here. But I could really insist on going for that plan. And that's an idea as well. And this would lead to a pin, so that's not what you want to do. But I can maybe just drop my queen back, because then I can take the knight. The knight is annoying there, so I want to try and get rid of it at some point. Let's go for that. He might go for this to be able to capture here, but it's weakening for his king, so probably not what he should do. And I'm still ready to continue my plan. And my rooks and a battery here are nicely lined up. I don't mind him taking here, I can just take back. And after the knight is gone, yeah, so he does go for this. So I could consider this as an in-between move. He can take here, and then 2 of my pieces are hanging. So that's probably not what I want. So I'm gonna go for this. And I am losing a bishop for a knight, which is usually not good, but in this case, he had to weaken his king for it. And maybe that's justified because his king isn't really in danger right now. All my pieces are on the queen side. Well, my queen would have a nice diagonal. And yeah, if he takes with his bishop, that's just a bishop trade. That's completely fine. But here, I'm taking here just to keep my pawns connected. He might go for an attack here. Maybe bring his rook over. Which isn't the right idea in this position. And I might switch up plans. This is still an idea, but I can also bring my king in here. Sorry, my queen. And start bringing pieces over. So maybe now is the right time. So you might go for that and not leave me with that option anymore. But this is also a forcing move. Yeah, continue with my original plan. And yeah, it would be just some trades, but if all these trades happen, he has a weak pawn here. And if he lets me take here, then this pawn becomes a backward pawn, which is also pretty weak. It does open his rook, so he has something, but not much. And if he takes here, I might even consider taking there. Yeah, so that doesn't really do anything. It's just a one move threat. I need to move my rook. Could also consider this. Because of the bishop takes, I can take here. And then if he saves his bishop, I can take his rook. If he doesn't save his bishop, I win 2 pieces for the rook. So let's actually go for that. He doesn't have time to take my rook. So a little bit of a tactical sequence. Now I should have calculated if he can move his knight somewhere to threaten something, but I don't think he can. Yeah, so he does go for that. Can take his knight. And I'm getting 2 pieces for the rook, which is better for me. I have 2 knights for his rook. And that's just more points of material. I don't want to hang my knight, obviously, so I'm gonna unpin my queen. Also attacking some stuff. This is not really attack, but it's at least putting some more pressure. I should maybe have considered this just to defend my rook. But I can also just move away and defend with my knight if I want. Or there. I'm not really attacking this because if I take, he takes, I take, he wins my rook. Also, this will be annoying for him. Yeah, he can put some pressure on my knight, but after I move, I'm actually attacking his queen, so that's not what he wants. Okay, so he goes there. And still, this doesn't work. This is probably just easiest. Let's go for that. Yeah, still 2 pieces for the rook. Could consider going here. He wouldn't be able to go there. That would tie my queen to my knight. This might be safer, but then where's my knight going? So I'm going for this. And also, this tie is temporary, because when I get a knight here, they're defending each other. Might have this, but still not clear. Can also just consider going there. Just want to watch out for the checks on the back rank. My king always has that square, but it's not so clear, so I should watch out. But I'm definitely better. This pawn is still a weakness for him. This pawn is a weakness. Now this is technically a passed pawn, so could become a strength if I'm not careful. He's taking a long think here. Yeah, so he goes for that. I'm guessing this needs to be the move, right? Just a good knight. It blocks his rook from getting into the back rank. I can't take this pawn. Maybe I can. I'm still defending the knight. He might have this. So let's see. Take, take. If I go here, he does have a check. I can go here. Maybe he has this and he starts going for this. I think this is just easier. I could have probably won the pawn. Yeah, if he wants to hang on, he needs to play really passively with his rook now. Also, he does never have that check because my queen is defending. And his queen is also tied down to this pawn. So yeah, if he plays this, his pieces are just defending pieces and there's no real threats. And I can just slowly improve my position. Okay, so he attacks my knight. This is not under attack, so I can just move it. This does come with tempo, but it just leaves my knight at the rim, so that's not what I want. So probably this is best. And he can attack it again, but I have at least 2 moves. So that's fine. Yeah, so let's see. We want to go here. Play it a little bit safer. I guess this is alright. These pieces are always defending each other. And this would be a nice square for the knight. Attacking this. Yeah, if he decides to defend here now, I'm just attacking that pawn. Maybe there's something better. I need to calculate. And I also need to watch out for my time. I want to keep this time advantage as well. Because it doesn't look like this game is going to be over anytime soon, so I am slowly converting, but it still takes time. Yeah, so he goes there, just leaving this pawn, and I feel like I have to take at this point. And like I said, my knights are still defending each other, so that's fine. And there's no like sacrifices to go here, he just loses both his pieces. And now if his rook moves off the first rank, I'm gonna come in with my queen. And if not, I might still, because this queen trade would be beneficial for me as well, although I think keeping queens on the board is the smart thing to do for me. Just easier to prove my advantage then. Because let's say all the pieces are traded and I'm left with a knight. That would actually be drawing. So this, I'm never really afraid of this check, I think. Could also go here now. Yeah, like I said, that's not really what I want. Let's go for this. Just cutting his king off. He might also start attacking this knight. But I can just move it, like here. It's a very good square, also attacking this. And things like this don't really work for him. And my knight is always defending this, which is nice. And once I get my knight here, just blocking the queen. This just is a pawn. I don't think there's anything here. These squares are covered by my pawns. This just defense. I can also consider this, which might even be better. I think considering I'm going into the endgame, this is actually better. Although I should have watched out for that. At the very least I can start checking and probably force a queen trade or something. So let's try and go for that. Can also just take this. Yeah, that's the easiest. Because it does defend here. And if we trade queens now, then I'm up so many pawns that the endgame should be easy. Could also throw in this check first. Yeah, let's actually go for that, because he might walk into some kind of checkmate. And if he goes onto this file, this really forces a queen trade. This wins his queen, by the way, so should probably go for that. Yeah, and he just resigns. I don't blame him. Let's go to the game review. I think this was quite a nice instructional game. 88 accuracy, not the best. So let's see where we could have improved. Yeah, this is all basic Caro-Kann stuff. And not really much to think about here. Yeah, and the idea is to go for the minority attack. If we get a pawn here, that's really annoying for him. You might want to push to deal with things, but then he's left with an isolated pawn. And if we can take here and he takes back, this is a backwards pawn, which is annoying for him. And again, if he ever pushes it, he's left with an isolated pawn. So that's the main idea. And yeah, this was best. I was considering this. Let's see what the engine thinks. Also not bad, but this is best just to threaten this. Just to show if he does something random. I have this, and it's not really winning anything, right? He can just put his queen back and just take. But I would have the bishop pair. I could also now bring my bishop here with tempo. So that would be really nice for me. But in the game, he decided to go for this. So I don't have this move. But I try to go here to make that happen again. So he just moved his queen. And I continue my plan. And here I'm considering a lot of things. So let's see what the engine says. This is alright. Bishop g6. Yeah, engine says this is fine. I would never play this move without him playing this. I just want them to weaken his king first. Yeah, and like the engine shows, that's just an inaccuracy. And he does win my bishop for his knight. But in this case, my king is actually pretty safe. This is quite an alright pawn structure. His piece is not attacking anything over there. And he's trying to bring his queen over, but it's just too slow. And here, nice move. See what the engine says. Yeah, it's basically the same. Can move my rook or take. I felt like taking was best, because this is actually a mistake, and I figured he would play that. And if he just moves his knight somewhere, let's see what the best move. The best move is actually to take back. Yeah, now if I move my rook, I've achieved what I wanted with my minority attack. A weak backwards pawn. But he decided to take my rook, and I figured that, but this is just good for me. I'm now just up 2 pieces for the rook. And 2 pieces are worth 6 points, the rook is worth 5, so that's better. And also his pawns are pretty weak. And his king is weak because he's pushed these pawns. So let's see how my conversion was. This was best. Okay, that wasn't. Let's see. I just improved my other knight. Was considering that, but I didn't want to keep this going for too long. Like if I ever move my knight, my rook is hanging, and that annoyed me, so I figured let's just trade. And it's still +2, so that's completely fine. And here, let's see. Queen takes b4 was an option. So let's see, what was I thinking about? Yeah, I was thinking about this, and then I need to move my knight. To e4. I can move this knight, apparently. What if this? Is there some kind of checkmate? Probably. Queen d4. Yeah, I can just take here. Okay, this is a mate in 18 now, apparently. Okay. I didn't really like going into this, and like if I move this knight, I felt like you would check here, and it's probably fine, but I don't want to go into any complications, so I felt like the pawn is not going anywhere. Let's just put my knight there. So it's not the best decision, but I still like it, and it's still +3, so nothing to worry about. Yeah, and he's trying to attack, but there's really nothing there. I just move my knight, and this isn't even best, by the way. What could I have done? Could have gone to h5. Okay, apparently this is best. Yeah, I feel like my knight is just out of the game here. So not really sure why the engine likes this. Probably because it just stops all his play. But I like this better. And it's still completely winning. It's +5 at this point. Now I wasn't afraid of this check anymore. He's running out of ideas. These pawns, basically he only has one pawn push left. And he does play it, but this doesn't really do anything. Yeah, so it was best to defend with the king. Just to compare. This wasn't much worse, so would have been fine as well. But I didn't like the prospect of ever moving my knight and then the rook coming in and being annoying here. So I felt like defending with the king was best. And then here, probably this is just easiest. But I figured he might walk into some checkmate. And here walked into a fork, which is also a mate in 5. I didn't even calculate any further, so I would win a queen and that's just game over. But yeah, I figured this would be really close to mating because his king doesn't have any squares. So yeah, there would be some kind of checkmate here. I didn't find in the game, but just let's show how it would have happened. So apparently just taking the queen leads to the checkmate. The best he can do is just to sack his rook. That just delays the checkmate. And then play f4. Yeah, and this is horrible. This probably, yeah. This, you can take my knight, and this is checkmate. But I didn't need to calculate all that. This at least wins his queen, and then it's game over. You would have just a rook against the queen and knight, and 3 pawns that aren't going anywhere. So yeah, I like this game. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.